what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a Faction Wars guide for the Orcs faction. I'm going to be diving into grades for each and every champion in the faction, showing you my 3-star full auto clear of the last stage, and also the team that I used, all of the gear, all of the stats, everything you need to know to tackle the Orcs faction. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first things first, let me go ahead and pull up an infographic about my Orcs team, showing you everything that goes into it. And I will have links to this stuff down in a pinned comment, so it's nice and easy to find, so you can pull this up on your own leisure, and we'll just kind of have a quick discussion about the team. I did learn a lot doing the Orcs 1 and 3-starring Stage 21. The reason that I like to really get some boots on the ground and dive in and theory craft it myself is because I learn a lot of information that I may not have otherwise known coming into a video like this to talk to you guys about it. So one thing I learned was Bloodfeather, the epic that is kind of widely regarded as trash, actually served me a lot of value in the boss fight stages of the Orcs faction. She's got a decreased speed and a defense break, and she hits hard. So all those things are very good against the boss, so she definitely helped out a lot. Was a little bit better than Zargala in terms of filling the defense break role in a boss fight. Zargala is a little bit more consistent for the defense break on the waves, but if you're struggling against the boss, Bloodfeather was definitely the better choice over Zargala. So that was a lot of fun to find out. And if you see the speeds up there, they're pretty solid, not amazing. I would say my Orcs gear was all right, but definitely I didn't empty my whole chamber. I could have gotten a lot stronger on my conquest, and I had a few bullets left to fire off if I needed to. But the team was definitely pretty good. You'll see Angar at 209. Bloodfeather at 187, Seer at 193. Seer was one that I did not want to tweak. I've got her in some speed farming teams, and she's really tuned to like for my Ice Golem team, for instance. I've got a Seer Ice Golem team that can blow up the Golem in 45 seconds. So I wanted to try not to change the Seer unless I absolutely had to. For Rask, all the way down at 149 speed, but you can see he does have the Relentless set. So his actual speed in terms of how it performs in game is definitely better than 149 with him cranking out those extra turns. But if it didn't work out with the Relentless set, I was going to change his gear and try to get him a lot more speed. And then Veteran is another one that I really found out about, similar to Bloodfeather, that is a Void rare who is very good in the Orc Faction Wars, and especially against the boss fight. And then right next to Veteran there, you'll see I've added a complete difficulty, which is how difficult it was for me to 3-star that faction completely and finish it. And you'll see I started from normal and go to hard. I didn't want to start it at easy because it's never easy. Like, you need good champions, you need good gear, and it's tough to make it happen no matter what the faction is. But like, I would say, in my opinion, of the ones I've done personally from my own experience, High Elves was the easiest to clear, and Orcs was probably the hardest or the second hardest one out of like the 10 or 11 that I've cleared so far. I haven't finished like Knight Revenant and a couple other ones like Demon Spawn and Barbarians. You see here I don't have all the stars, but they are finished. It's just old stages that I gotta go clean up. So I've done like 10 or 11 of the factions. I've done most of them. I believe I'm just missing Skinwalkers and Knight Revenant at this point. So those are two that are extremely hard as well. But Orcs was difficult. I had to really change some things around and build up Bloodfeather, build up Veteran, start putting together a specific team. I couldn't just blow through Stage 21 with good champions and good gear. I did need to actually work towards putting together a team. So not impossible, not ridiculous, but it is kind of scaling towards the hard end in terms of my experience in completing Faction Wars. And then on the left side, you'll see the average stats there. The one thing I do want to note is you'll see the asterisks by the 245 for accuracy. That's because I only included champions that actually need accuracy, so I didn't include Vrask in that, so in order to kind of drag the number down unnecessarily. So 245 accuracy on the champions that need accuracy, which is definitely solid. Anything around 225, 230, 240 is perfectly viable for the end game of Faction Wars. And then the resistance there is a little bit low at 123, but like I said earlier, I didn't empty my whole chamber. I had a few more bullets I could have went after if I needed it, but I did eventually get it down and was able to complete Stage 21 with this exact team here that you see pictured with those stats, that gear, and those speeds. You can kind of see everything there and gauge your own team on if you're going to have what it takes to beat Stage 21. Now, full disclosure, I will have my run at the end of this video, and you will see that it is full auto, 3 stars. I actually did it live on stream for the first time, but it is not a 100% win rate for 3-star. I believe it's pretty close to a 100% win rate in terms of clearing the stage. But for 3-star, it seems like it's about 55-60%. It took me 2 or 3 tries to actually get the full auto 3-star. If I manualed it, it would probably be closer to like 90-95%. But I like to know if something is full auto or not, so I really wanted to experiment with that. And this exact team here is full auto with about a 60% win rate in terms of getting a 3-star. And there is definitely some things that I could min-max and optimize. Like I said, Seer's speed is a little bit off of where I would want it to be in this context of this team, but I already explained why I was hesitant to change her and didn't want to do it unless I absolutely had to. But let's go ahead and put this away for a second, and that will be down in a pinned comment if you want to check that out and pull it up. And let's pull up the Orc grades here, where I've got every champion graded just for Faction Wars. And I did take this from my tier list if you want to see the full thing. Also, that is down there. You can find it pretty easily. But yeah, the Orcs, pretty solid faction. Galek and Shaman are very free-to-play friendly, starting champion and login reward champion that are decent and are definitely viable all the way up till stage like 18 or 19. Galek and Shaman can be perfectly fine. And then you've got Warlord, Angar, Varask, Seer are all amazing for Faction Wars. So if you've got any one of those 4, you're going to want to build them up and use them in your Orcs team on most stages. Robar, amazing. Sandlash, Veteran. Bloodfeather, I put her all the way up at a 9 because she was very instrumental in terms of bringing me a lot of value in that last stage on stage 21. Zargala's great. So yeah, Orcs have some options. In terms of rares, not the best. Most of them aren't very good. You know, so unfortunately, you're probably going to need to get a couple epics and maybe even a legendary or so to go ahead and get up there towards the stage 20 and 21. But it is doable. It's just one of the harder factions. Out of the 13 factions, it's probably like somewhere in that 3rd to 5th in terms of most tough, in terms of hardest to complete as of right now. Probably 3rd, 4th, or 5th out of the 13 factions if I had to really peg it on where it would rank in terms of toughness to completely 3-star it. But now let's put that away, and there is one more thing I want to show you, and that is the information about the boss that you'll be facing on stage 21. There's 3 boss fights in every faction: stage 7, stage 14, and stage 21. If you are stuck on a boss that is in stage 7 or stage 14, the problem is most likely your gear or masteries or getting the speed tunes right. But getting stuck on 21 is very common, so I do like to pull up the boss 21 mechanics and have a quick little conversation about the boss fight in general. It's tough, and the crazy thing is that he's got a lot of AoE. You can see the A1 is attack all enemies, places fear. And then we've got an A2, attacks all enemies and steals all buffs from each enemy. So you've got to be a little bit careful if you're going to be full autoing. You get a Seer rotation set up to nuke, and then the boss steals all buffs, and your Seer can't really hit hard or do anything. So it does make a big difference to manual the Orc stage 21, but I was able to get it done full auto. It's just a lot easier if you're willing to work around that A2 rotation and not let him steal your buffs. And then the A3 is basically a full heal. Every 12 turns, this guy can full heal. I believe he starts to do this around 25% HP left. So once you get him knocked down to that last bar of HP, he's going to go ahead and fully heal, basically. So I did have a scenario where I built a team that was a super sustained team, and it was going to be able to beat the boss in like 15 minutes or something, and I actually couldn't burst him down fast enough. I would get him down and he would fully heal, and then I wouldn't kill him in that 12 turns and he would fully heal, and then I wouldn't kill him in that 12 turns, he would fully heal. So I was like, okay, I gotta go back to the drawing board. Bloodfeather helped a lot with that, and I had to get a little bit better gear and do a little bit more damage, and then once I got my team min-maxed, I was able to get him down in those 12 turns. But it's something you're definitely going to want to be aware of. And then the ads, you're going to want to focus them first. He's not going to revive them or anything, so definitely focus the ads. You'll probably want to kill the provoke first. That's a pretty big deal. So I would focus the provoke ad and then deal with the leech ad, and then deal with the boss. And I did get this information from a forum post on Plarium's official forums that goes over all of the bosses, all the different bosses you come up against in Faction Wars, and the different mechanics that they have in their kit. So I will link to that post also in a pinned comment, so you can read through that if you would like. But the purple boss is what you're going to face for the Orcs on stage 21. And let me put that away, and I will pull up my team here as I kind of wrap up. So now's the point where I'm going to step off camera, and I will show you my full run of stage 21, full auto, 3-star, so that you can stick around and watch that if you would like to see it in action. And yeah, remember, everything will be down in the pinned comment, all the graphics I use in this video, and let me know what you think about the Orcs faction. Am I about right in terms of saying it's the 3rd or 4th hardest to complete out of the 13 factions? You know, I know a few of you out there have completed Faction Wars, so I always enjoy hearing about your experiences, or if I had grades on champions that are wrong, if I had a champion too high or too low. I always love those discussions so that we can all kind of learn from each other. So yeah, I'm gonna take off and fire up my run if you want to stick around and watch that. So as always, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.